Welcome to Look Around Florida. I'm your host, Sean McFall, aka the Florida Man. Let me get some stuff out of the way. There you go. Disclaimer that way me and my guests don't get in trouble with AOT leadership or national leadership. When you join the chat, just say hi and where you're from. Hey, Kim, good to see you, buddy. Ronnie Nichols. Hey, buddy. So we got David King. I got him locked up right now. We're gonna release the hounds here in a little bit. I'm trying something different tonight. Normally I use Google Chrome. Hey Annette. Hey Roy. Hey Linda. Normally I use Google Chrome for the show. I'm trying something different tonight. I'm using Microsoft Edge. That's the internet service I used last night for SCV chat, and I didn't have any hiccups. So I'm trying that out to see how it goes tonight with everything. Uh, busy month for all of us. I will say that we had Lee Jackson's all over the place, and I know a lot of the camps had their stuff too. Thank you, Kim. Everybody, we have a member in the division that's not doing well, Victor Smith. Let's keep him in our thoughts and prayers with his health. Just keep him in your prayers. Ready. There's Commander Boshears. Welcome to the chat. Like I said, we had a busy month with Lee Jackson's. I know for me, I did St. Pete, Ocala. I think there was only two I did. No. I'm sorry. Hey, Lewis. Also did Roy Hudson's with the J.J. Dickerson camp. Then St. Pete. Then this past Saturday, me, David King, and a whole bunch of others merged in on. Keep your head up, Victor. Good to see you, buddy. I called you, left a message. Call me after the show. Hope you're doing better. Saturday night up there in Ocala with our commander in chief Donnie Kennedy. We kept the Kennedys busy and kept them here in Florida and kept them warmed up for a little bit. Then Sunday night he went up to the Jacksonville Camp 1209, held their Lee Jackson dinner, and Donnie Kennedy was the speaker there. So we kept the yep, Victor's in the house. Let's keep him in our thoughts and prayers. So, hey, Delaney and Leon. The 16th annual Prairie Creek Historical Reenactment presented by the Prairie Creek Historical Site Park. Saturday and Sunday, March 1st to the 2nd, 2025, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Reenactments at 2 demonstrations throughout the day. That is a Seminole War reenactment coming up March 2nd, and same weekend is the 160th anniversary 48th annual reenactment of the Battle of Natural Bridge, March 2nd and 1st and 2nd, 2025, Natural Bridge Historical Park. Leon Lodge 5. Oh, yeah, that's sponsorships. If you have any questions on this event, you can get with the Ann Jackson chapter 224 of United Daughters of the Confederacy, or you can get a hold of Finley's Brigade Camp 1614, Sons of Confederate Veterans. Those are two reenactments coming up. So, wow, hey David, welcome all the way from South Louisiana. Woo! Glad you could be here, sir. All right. Keep your hands together and let's give a round of applause for David King. Find out what's going on with the Southwest Florida region and the mechanized cavalry. Hey, David.
Well, here we go.
Yes, sir.
Well, Sean, what are we going to start off? Whatever I want to talk about first?
Go for it. Okay. Let it rip.
Everybody, Sean's been on my rear end probably pretty much since this show started. I've been blowing him off of work and everything, but got a chance to be in town tonight and get on here. And I hope I don't get to liking it because I'll be on here every week. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the mechanized cavalry in the state of Florida. We can't control what happens in the other states, but we can handle what's here in Florida. And we got a good bunch of guys. I'm going to have to watch my language here. We got a good bunch of guys in the state. And I just cleaned up the state roster every year after the dues are due at the national level. I give a couple months for, we got some guys straggling 2 or 3 months late, some guys 6 months late, whatever. But I just got with Rick Roberts, our Florida Division adjutant, which I always do, and cleaned up our rosters. And as of right now, we got 126 paid members dues until 2025. I don't know if any other state does that, but that's the least we can do is make sure if you're going to be a member of the mechanized cavalry, minimum your dues are paid and kept up like they should be. I have to go to Elm Springs, Tennessee, the first week in February, 7th and 8th, for Mechanized Cavalry Officers Call. We go up there and hash out business on Saturday at Elm Springs. Good time to see everybody. You only get to see a couple times a year, so it's a pretty good event. The big deal for us in Florida is we have to host the annual Mechanized Cavalry Reunion. And it's going to be June 19th through the 22nd in Tavares. We used to do it in Cedar Key, but obviously after the last 2 storms, my contacts in Cedar Key have told me there's no way that they're going to be ready to host us. They have actually moved the City Hall, which was right downtown, which I think they've had it between 10 and 15 feet of water in it the last couple of storms. They've actually moved that to the community center officially, and they're in the process of redoing downtown Cedar Key, the motels, the one that we stayed at most of the time, the Park Place. A lot of the downstairs floors got damaged in the last 2 storms we had in October, which has never happened before. They've always been high and dry. So we're going to go to Tavares. Ronnie Nichols and myself went up there, and a lot of you guys in Florida, we call him Yankee Bob, but Bobby Grenier, who's the mayor of Tavares, he welcomed us open arms. He took me and Ronnie around. We've already got the host hotel book. We've already got the community center book. We've already got the band lined up. And if I was smarter than what I am on the computer, I could show everybody the rendition of the annual T-shirts. But I'll probably show that to the guys in Tennessee. And Ronnie said he was going to print up a bunch of restorations we can bring to Elm Springs and hand it to the captains so they can get it out to the guys. Yes, sir, Jason. We run a tight ship down here. If you don't pay, you don't play in the mechanized cavalry in Florida. That's the least that you can do to this organization is pay your dues every year. Let's see what else we got going on. Our state reunion for the Florida Division is going to be June 7th. We don't know exactly where yet. The GEC, we are in discussions of what we're going to do about that in June. The national reunion, Sean already talked about, is going to be the 16th through the 20th in Houston. And I get the privilege of driving Sean and Jeff Cotton around. And normally the first thing we do, we travel with Jeff. We hit him in the head with a ball peen hammer, put him in the back seat, wake him up when we get there. That's about the only way me and Sean can survive the trip. And Jeff, you're also correct. I have a few headstones in my warehouse that we're going to set. I think to date, the Mechanized Cavalry in the state of Florida has set about 135 headstones. Donna McPherson to correct me on that. I know you're there, Jeff. And we're probably going to start setting what we got in the warehouse right now, probably in February. I'll let everybody know about it. The first run we're going to do is going to be a monster. We're going to start in southern Polk County down around Fort Meade and then end up in Winter Haven. There's like 6 of them, so it's going to be probably turn out to be a long day, but it is what it is. We do what we got to do. One more thing on the Metcav. November 7th through the 9th at Grape Hammock, we met our state reunion, our state meeting, and in November of next year, not this year, but next year. No, this year. I'm sorry. This year. I'm going to be stepping down as captain. I've been doing it for 13 years, and it's time to turn it over to somebody else. And so far, the only person that's put their name in the hat to run for captain is Ronnie Nichols. So if any Metcalf guys in the state of Florida want to put their name in the hat and run for captain, we're going to have those elections the second week in November at Grape Hammock Fish Camp, which is in the address is Lake Wales, but it's sort of middle of nowhere. Nice place. We've already rented 2 big bunkhouses. There's cabins there. It's a real nice place, and we found that thanks to Roy Hudson. After the hurricanes in Cedar Key, because we always use that too, and we always went to the division-owned house in Trenton, and Roy found this place for us, and everybody loved it. So we went ahead and made sure we had at least 2 bunkhouses booked, which are not really bunkhouses. They got living rooms, kitchens, fireplaces, pretty nice place, and the people wanted us back. So we're going to go over there in November. Like I said, it's state elections. And when I step down, all the officers in the Florida Mechanized Cavalry will be stepping down with me. So whoever the new captain is, he can pick his own people. And we'll turn all the books over to him and all the bank accounts and all that and go from there and see what happens. Let's see, Sean, I don't know. One very important thing, I'm looking for color guard members and rifle members. March 15th of this year, Linden Cemetery is about, I don't know, it's in Terrytown, basically, Linden, Florida, just past 471 in Terrytown on Highway 50, west of Interstate 75, which would be west of Brooksville. And the Granville Belleville chapter, UDC, we worked with them for years with the camp, for years, doing color guard and stuff for them. And our color guard's getting a little thin. There ain't but about 3 or 4 of us left in the color guard because everybody's aged out. But we have set there's 13 Confederate soldiers in there. We've been taken to their graves. And last year we went up there and they knew the guys were in the cemetery. One of our camp members' wives, one of our camp members' brother-in-laws is on the board of the cemetery. And they knew the guys were in there, but not exactly where they were at. So he dedicated a section of that cemetery for any headstone that we get for a Confederate soldier that we know goes in Linden Cemetery. So I think we placed 2 or 3 up there last year. And the UDC's been raising money for a few years, and they finally got enough money to get a monument made for the soldiers in that cemetery. And it's going to be a big deal. Our camp supports them, and a lot of Metcalf guys support them every year. They have a big picnic and raise money for the cemetery. So I'm looking for color guard guys and rifle squads. I haven't talked to them yet about getting a cannon. We might be able to get a cannon. We'll have to wait and see about that, but at least colors and rifles. And as many as we can get. We know we got a drummer. Jerry Peacock will be playing drums for us. And the more the merrier. So that's that about that. Jason, I see you're on here. I talked to Donnie Kennedy Saturday night. I was in Ocala with Sean. Me and Sean and Jeff, we did the as many as we could. Lee Jackson's around the state, but I did all three of them that Sean and Jeff went to. And a lot of people, most everybody I see on here knows what's going on, but our bank note is paid up with the bank. We don't have to worry about the bank foreclosing on the museum in Elk Springs. A lot of people didn't like donating money to the museum, but like I told Donnie, the baby was born, and as far as I'm concerned, we got to take care of the baby. With that being said, Jason, I know you got handed a mess. Donnie got handed a mess. But thank you all for what you did with getting his debt paid down at the National Museum so we don't have to worry about the bank foreclosing on it or whatever we have to do, man. So, and we just donated. We joined, our camp voted to join the 21st Century Confederates. So I'd give Donnie a check for that Saturday night. We were in Ocala. And we swore two new mechanized cavalry members in Saturday night. Brigade Commander Bob Highball, and he's with the, I can't even remember the name of that camp. Colonel Samuel St. George Rogers Camp, 1865 in Ocala. Bob is also a brigade commander up there in the Ocala area. And Chip Schultz is a camp member up there. We swore him in. And I thought I was done with Metcalf paperwork, but damn, if Tommy Izell's son just sent his stuff in, so we got him squared away. Then I got another application today, so it's like the U.S. Post Office here in my dining room. But we're good, man. The Florida Division's rolling along. The Metcalf is always rolled along in Florida. We've never given anybody any problems. We're always the guys that sort of just get in the back and do our thing and don't make a big deal out of it. But March 15th, we need color guard and rifle guys, and then I'll put the word out in where we're going to be setting headstones in Polk County. That'll get 5 or 6 out of the way, and then the rest of them we can handle, ones or twosies here or there. So, So that's it. All I got to say right now. I'll just sit back and listen to Sean. If Sean got any questions or whatever, y'all got any questions, whatever, I'm here for the duration.
Righty.
I know my wife's got the heat on. I need to get her to turn the heat down. It's like 500 degrees in here.
All right.
That's what happens when you marry a Florida cracker girl, man. It gets 50 degrees, the heat's got to come on.
Yep. I know me and you and a few others just busted our asses out at the flag site in December.
Okay. We had, obviously we had a couple hurricanes. The second one hit Tampa. As hard as I've lived here almost 50 years, it's the worst one I've ever gone through. And we didn't get as bad as some other people, but it was pretty bad. But anyway, the flag site, we had guys come from Ocala. Sean came up. We had guys from all over the state. We put out a call. Next thing you know, we got heavy equipment in there, front end loaders, everything else to clean up. Most of the damage was caused by the Florida Department of Transportation trees on their side of the fence. The big tree came over, tore down their chain link fence, which we just left it down. We just piled it up with the rest of the stuff on their property for now. That's their problem as far as I'm concerned. A piece of the wrought iron fence got broke, the brackets, and I've called the guy that originally did it. He sold the business to another young guy, and I called him, and he sent me a quote. Made a couple phone calls. The money was raised. So as soon as he gets time to get over there and put the wrought iron, 2 pieces of wrought iron fence back up, that's going to be taken care of. And yeah, Jeff, there is a better view of the flag now, as far as I'm concerned, because that big old tree, we've been hollering at it for years and trimming it. And it's just been a problem. The biggest problem we got now, there's a washout in the middle of the entrance, but we still drive in there. And me and Jeff got a hold of the DOT, and that's a DOT problem. So we're not going to be out $20,000 getting that entrance fixed. We just have to wait until they get it all set up. They came out and barricaded it off. So flag site's in good shape. We lost one light, but we decided we don't need that light. But if we decide we're going to put it back up, we got the light, and that's all good. And here, probably in about another month and a half, 2 months, we'll be over there having to cut grass every couple weeks or so.
Yep.
But it's we're good. Everything's okay, man. No major No major drama. No drama whatsoever. Everything's good. That's the way I like it. No problem.
Exactly.
Kathy, can you turn that heat down, please?
So I know me and you had been around all over the state doing Lee Jackson's. Bobby Van Zandt, I know you're probably watching. You probably watch this later. Thank you for having us. I appreciate that. Bob Highball in his camp. Thank you. Oh, yeah, Roy Hudson and the J.J. Dickerson camp. Thank you for having us. I really enjoyed it.
And Roy's camp is, I was talking to Don Young, past Florida Division commander. He's a member with Roy and them, and they're trying to make that sort of a Lee Jackson destination event. And it's nice because you stay there right there at the Holiday Inn. You walk out the back door and you walk about 10 feet and you're right in the meeting room. And it's convenient, and it's everything's right there. You never have to leave the property. It's all right there if you want to spend the night. And Bobby Van Zandt, y'all did okay too, man. Now, Bobby's camp, they're in my brigade over here, and they used to have it every year. I went to Randy Bailey's house, who everybody on here knows Randy Bailey pretty much. And his wife passed away a couple years ago. And then the last hurricane, his house just got devastated. So, but Bobby and them has been having it over there at the house on Gulf to Bay, right there when you go into Clearwater, that's owned by the UDC. And they've, Bobby and them work really close with them girls over there. And that's where they have that event every year. It's an old historic house that was given to the UDC, I think, back in the 60s. It's been there ever since I can remember. And Bobby and them do a good job. Everybody did a good job. Everyone I went to was first class, man. First class.
I enjoyed every one that I was able to go to. Hey, Brian Wells, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, something else we did, Sean. I don't know if you mentioned it. We all went to Leon's Cavalry Camp Christmas shindig down there at the American Legion Hall in Arcadia. We did that this year too, or last year, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was a blast.
So Lee Jacksons, they're hard to get to all of them, but if anybody out there that can get to one, it's well worth it.
Yes, sir.
Get to see people you haven't seen for a while.
Yep. Don Young and various others. Mountain Camp. Okay.
Maybe one year our camp can get with the Jackson camp over in St. Pete, and we can put a combined Lee Jackson on or something. That might be something to think about, Bobby.
Yeah.
So
they're at the flag site.
Yep. No, there's no parking at the flag site. Across the street, the big field that we used to use all the time for parking.
Right.
That's a big warehouse. Like we need another warehouse in Tampa, but they're building another warehouse in Tampa. So, and also about the flag site, I have had an eminent domain lawyer on retainer for about, I don't know, Jeff, you can maybe help me out with this, 5 or 6 years, because they were talking about redoing the whole intersection there at Interstate and I-75. Well, that sort of went away, but I got and also Highway 92, which runs right in front of the flag site, 4-lane in that. And I get a letter every 3 or 4 months from a domain lawyer over in Orlando, who's supposed to be one of the best in the state. And so far, all that stuff's been put on, seems like permanent hold. So there's nothing going on with that. But that could be an issue here. That could be an issue here for us to have to deal with in the next few years or whenever it comes up.
Well, we got our OCR president for the state of Florida, Annette Lindsay, in the chat. She will be our guest next Tuesday.
Okay, Ronnie, I'll bring that up since you brought it up. Ronnie Kennedy and Commander Kennedy at the Lee Jacksons were talking about, I think it's in April. of states putting up billboards for Confederate History Month. So we're going to see what we can do to get a couple billboards put up here in Florida for Confederate History Month. Because right now, with the political world that we're living in, I think we might have our foot on the gas. Maybe not mashed to the floor, but I think at least we got our foot on the gas now.
Yep.
So, all right, Sean.
Yep. And if you love the Confederacy, don't be ashamed of your ancestors' contact. You can get a hold of me. I'll point you to the right person, right camp in your area. You can contact me through Facebook or YouTube if you're looking for a camp. You can go on our division website. Yeah, we have various camp commanders right here in the chat. If you're looking to join the SCV and want to find out if there's a camp near your area, we're here. We'll help you. We'll even help you with your genealogy if you're having a hard time with it.
It used to be the biggest kept secret in the world was the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Nobody knew about them, but maybe we can start getting our name out there a little bit more now. And there's more people out there that would like to be a member of this organization. It's just getting to them people, getting the information out.
And I do it every Tuesday night. SCV chat does it on Monday and Thursday. Douglas Friedman group Friday nights, and you got Michael C. Hardy's history chat on Sunday nights. Hey, Charles, how you been, sir? We got Charles Lorette in the chat. Welcome. So, hey, we got David King here. Feel free to ask questions. Wow. Yeah, Roy, I did see that just the other day. The Secretary of Defense has stated he's going to restore 9 military bases named to their original names.
That ought to be something to talk about on the news for a while.
Yep.
Hey, let it rip, man. Let it rip. Should have never been changed in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I growing up spent a lot of time at Fort Benning. And a lot of people don't really know Fort Benning's true name. It was during the war, it was called Port Columbus. It was a Confederate depot during the war before it became Fort Benning. Oh, okay. Thanks, Dylan. DeSoto County Historical Society to do a presentation January 20th. Wow. Cool. See, that just shows you, a lot of the political BS is getting out of there.
Did Leon wear his kilt?
He did.
Oh, yeah. What's the answer, D-Lynn? Did Leon wear the kilt? We're all waiting to hear.
He did.
Yeah, they got a good bunch of boys down there in that camp too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Good bunch of guys. Tim Pennington's the camp commander. I think Greg's the first lieutenant commander now.
Yes.
And we did we were all in that movie together down there last year. I don't know if we made the cut or not, but at least we got to say we were in a movie. We got a baseball hat for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see when that movie comes out. It's called Florida Wild. There's a part in the movie that deals with. I don't want to set it up or anything, but it does talk about the Confederacy for a brief part in there, and they asked a lot of us that were reenactors and that can be a part of it.
Yeah, it was me, you, Jeff, Bobby Van Zant was there. Ronnie Nichols came down from Jacksonville, Greg,
Yep.
Leon. And one of the guest stars is our new, hopefully, Attorney General.
Wow.
Pam Bondi was in it.
Yeah. And Lee Majors.
And Lee Majors.
Well, yeah, I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Delenn. The DeSoto camp just got permission to install 5 new flagpoles at different cemeteries. You see Delenn's answer about the kilt?
Yeah. Jason, I think we're going to try for two also in Florida.
Yeah.
I think Tony's going to get Roy the information on how to get it all started and who to talk to.
Yep. Yeah, because I contacted a company down here years ago because the Confederate veteran came out. There was a nice sticker, bumper sticker that came in the Confederate veteran. I'm like, man, this would be good for a billboard. And I called a couple and because I wanted to get prices, but didn't hear anything back from them. So
if I'm not mistaken, I think Georgia Division had a couple at one time. They might still have them. The digital billboards, where it changes, different ads at different times instead of, just a standard billboard. But we'll see when Roy gets it all down to him. We'll figure something out.
Cool. Yeah, because I remember years ago going through Alabama, going up to Tennessee. That's what caught my eye. And I was a kid. And I'm 48 now. So, yeah, going around Chattanooga area, they used to have billboards. I haven't seen one in that area for a couple of years. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bushiers. But that's what caught my eye and got me wondering, what's this SCV about? Got into reenacting. Friends of mine were at a booth and asked them. They go, yeah. So that was back in 96, 97 I joined. And what year is it?
Do the math, Sean, real quick for everybody.
No, I have to deal with math, mixing chemicals all day. So, yeah, my mind's fried. Cool. Glad to hear the DeSoto camp is getting their camp flag together. And they also joined the 21st Century Confederates, Heroes.
Yeah, I try to encourage every camp that can afford it to join that.
Yep.
If the money don't go to paying down ourselves for the museum, then we can put it towards the Florist Plaza, get it rebuilt. But it's the best news I've heard in a long time was that museum. We don't have to worry about the bank.
Yep.
We pay ourselves back. That's one thing. When you got to deal with the bank, and God only knows what the interest rates will be. But we got to pay for it. I tell you what got me interested in the SCV was I saw a bunch of guys at the Brooksville raid 100 years ago, mechanized cavalry guys.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up and talked to them and asked them what it was all about. That's how I got in the SCV.
For me, it was my great-grandmother. Her grandfather was a Union soldier and died at Andersonville. Been to his grave. Yeah.
Did you say you've been to his grave or it was great?
No, I've been to his grave.
Okay.
And that got me interested in the history. Then my mother got involved with doing genealogy all the way back to Ireland. There was a set off of my ancestor that came into Virginia and the Carolinas, and that's where my Confederate ancestors are. Oh, thanks, Jimbo. Yeah, for Christmas school day. Interested in playing about. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what those 24th century streamers look like. Come on. Yeah, we got David here. Feel free to ask questions. Thanks, Jason. Friend telling me he was coming to get me and take me to a meeting. Yeah. Was learning the history, learning about your family. Yep. Same with me.
Sorry, guys, I had something going on at work. Always something at work.
At least it's work and not SCV stuff.
Well, it's overrated. I guarantee you that.
At least you're not getting a phone call right now about SCV stuff.
Nope. I'm good on that. That was earlier all afternoon.
Yep.
I talked to Ronnie Nichols and Roy Hudson more than I talk to my wife sometimes, man.
So you cheating on her with them?
Yep. Yes, sir.
That's how it is with me and Leon. We talk at least once a week.
Yep, I talk to Leon once a week too.
Leon wants to know when you're getting your kilt, David.
I've been talking about it for 100 years.
Jason, if you can email me, thank you, sir. If you need my email address or just private message me on Facebook, either or. Come on, what presidential issues? What, Lewis?
No, you don't, Annette. You don't want to see that.
We got a poll going now.
Lewis has got a trivia question up here, Sean.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Kim, we probably have as many dismounted members as we have mounted members. And as of October of last year, I'm officially dismounted. I can't ride my bike no more with my shoulder and my arms and stuff all jacked up. Yes, sir. Absolutely, we do.
Kim, I'm dismounted.
I want to see who gets this question answered here. I want to see.
Oh, Lewis's question?
Yep. Yeah. Because I have no idea. Most presidential pardons.
Are you talking about, Lewis, are you talking about in our lifetime?
Jeff, he said not recent.
There we go. Oh, okay. I just seen that, Lewis. Guys, if you know the answer, feel free to type it in the chat. Lewis, I appreciate your question. Get a little, get people thinking. Oh, thanks, Jason.
There you go.
Wow, yeah. I got your message. Oh, that looks cool. Let me grab this. Lincoln. Alrighty, let me get this up. Thank you, Commander Boshiers. For some of you that were just like me wondering what the streamer looks like, there's the stream. Commander Boshiers just sent this to me.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, it was Andrew Johnson blanket pardoned the entire Confederate Army. Wow.
God bless Andrew Johnson.
Yep. Wow.
Be the second streamer, Jeff.
Yep.
The first one's for the was given to us by past commander, God bless his soul, Jim Davis, as a Sentinel camp for taking care of the flag site in Tampa.
Cool, Ronnie. See, we got a lot of people within the division that is sponsoring the 21st century. I know the DeSoto camp, they sent their money in. They're just waiting on their streamer to come in the mail.
Well, if your camp can afford it, to do it, I suggest you do it. But we got a lot of small camps in Florida that barely get by. Yep. And if you can't do it, we understand that too. We're not out here. We're not checking off camps that donated or not. But if you can do it, do it. If you can't, then do what you can with what you got.
Yep. Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, I totally forgot. The St. Pete boys did it.
Who's the AT Pete camp? Who's that?
Where do you see that?
AT Pete camp is too.
That's Bobby Van Zant.
He's from Georgia. We know he can't spell.
He probably meant to hit S and it came up A.
Spell check got him.
Yep. And he gets me, especially when I try to do voice to text.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We got let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 camps I can think off right ahead out of our brigade over here up in this part of the state. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Jim. We don't think the smaller camps any different than the bigger camps. At least I don't. We're all in the same thing together.
Yep.
We all can do what we can do, and that's it.
We're all here for the same reason. Don't matter if you got 200 members
or 50 members.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Come on, guys. Keep the questions going. Lewis, thank you for that little trivia. If you think of any more trivia, feel free to put it in the chat.
Trying to think if I forgot to say anything or do anything while I'm sitting here.
You talked about the division reunion. You talked about national, the state meeting from.
Yeah, the first thing coming up, which is the Linden Cemetery.
Yeah,
we got to make that, because them girls they've been raising money for years, and they finally got enough money put together to get that monument set in that cemetery. I don't know if it's set or not, but it'll be set by the time we get it there for the dedication.
Yes, sir. What's the dates on that again, David?
That's going to be March 15th. I don't know the time yet. I got to get a hold of Joyce White.
Okay.
And but that's March 15th I'm guessing about 10 o'clock in the morning, usually is when we have the events.
Right.
But once I get that locked in, I'll let everybody know.
Yep.
And if you don't have a gun or a uniform, just come on up there and enjoy the day.
There we go. Oxford Camp, SCV, April the 26th, Memorial Day celebration. Jeffro, where, when, and what time? Lewis, I do not know the answer to that question. I don't think David does either.
No, we're waiting on to get the information for Tony Griffith right now. And Jason, I think, said it would be coming out pretty soon. I think Jason was talking about earlier. They just approved the artwork for the billboard.
Yep. Thank you, Jeffro.
Yeah, Jason, we stay pretty busy down here. We don't advertise a lot. What we do, we're probably guilty for not taking pictures and getting them out like we should, but we stay pretty busy.
Oh, Ronnie, thank you for that. One of our mechanized cavalry brothers, Terry Simmons, his wife Becky's having some health problems, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers, guys.
Yeah, and I'll say a little bit of something about that. Terry called me the other night. He was our lieutenant commander up in Northeast Florida for probably 4 or 5 years, and he called me, and here again, guilty. He called me and told me that he needed to step down as lieutenant commander until he gets his wife, back in shape or whatever's going to happen there. And Ronnie got promoted. Ronnie Nichols got promoted to the first lieutenant commander in the Metcalf in Northeast Florida. We'll have a parade this weekend in celebration.
If Metcalf donated $50 each, would it cover it?
Lewis, I don't know about the how much it's going to be, but that'd be a state by state because they want the states to do it.
Yep. Yep. Ronnie.
Lewis, you'd have to get with Dale Bennett and see what they want. If they want to kick in any money and help the division pay for it, I think it's going to be based at the division level. Oh, there's my old buddy Mike Reynolds. Look at that.
Yeah. Welcome, Mike.
Mike's the official cook for the Mechanized Cavalry. Anytime we have an event, Mike's the cook.
For our group or the entire national group?
No, for the state.
Okay.
We can't for the state. There you go, Lewis. We're looking at about $2,000 a month, maybe $2,500, depending on if you want to put one on I-75 headed north in April. That'd be a good time. Let all them snowbirds see it going home.
Yeah, you say, Mike, if you say cornbread 3 times, he shows up.
Mike does make some good cornbread.
Yes, he does.
And Bobby Van Zandt fries some good catfish. We eat pretty good down here, don't we?
Yep. Yeah, at our Metcalf events, if you go home hungry, there's something wrong with you.
Right. And what we're going to do, and speaking of Mike, since he kicked on here, in Tavares, we're going to change up the Mechanized Cavalry protocol because sometimes in these national events, these Mechanized Cavalry meetings get way out of line sometimes. So we're going to do everything on Friday. That way, because a lot of the Mechanized Cavalry guys from all over the country, they'll bring their wives and kids. It's like a vacation for them. So if they want to, Saturday, you can go to Disney World or whatever they want to do. We're not having any events on Saturday. But Mike Reynolds will be cooking, and probably Ronnie and myself will get involved in it, cooking a big low country boil, probably 3 or 4 pots of that. And Mike's going to do some captain out in Mississippi said, for the communists that don't like low country boys or gumbo, we're going to have chicken and beef, just whatever you want to do, plus a bunch of side dishes. And probably, I hope Michael will have a lot of cornbread, like you had a grape hammock. But Friday, we're going to have our meeting. I've already talked to General Stone and try to make it a short and sweet meeting. I hope we don't get off in the weeds somewhere and then do what you want to do. And at 5 o'clock, we're going to feed everybody. And at 7 o'clock, we got a Leonard Skinner tribute band that actually played for the Skinner family when they dedicated the monument out in Mississippi at the crash site. A bunch of buddies of mine friends of mine out of Clearwater, and they play all of our events for us. So that's going to be Friday night. And like I said, Saturday morning, it'll be, clean up and put everything back together and do what you want to do for the rest of the weekend. Try to make it a set of all business, have a little bit of fun.
Somebody was asking about billboards. Jason, Commander Boshears just put this in.
Okay, so the National is going to give each division $500 towards a billboard, and whatever the cost is, the division will pick up the rest of it.
Yep.
Okay.
Put one in the north and put one in the south.
Jim, we don't know the answer to that question yet about is the division reunion going to be in Ocala. They're working on it right now, and it'll come up in the GEC meeting, and we'll deal with it then. What's your opinion on that, Jim? You want to go back to Ocala?
Guys, if you want to go back to Ocala, like David just asked Jim, put it in the chat.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. Jim, do you want the reunion back in Ocala? Just type yes, Ocala. All right, we got a couple yeses. There, yeah. We get okay. Ron Jones.
Ron Jones showed up late to the party.
Welcome, Ron. Good to see you.
Good evening, Ronnie. Come on down to Florida, Lewis. We don't do barbecue down here too often. We got burned out on that years ago.
Yeah, Lewis is up in the Northeast Florida.
But barbecue
Northwest,
seems to be our staple for everything we do.
Yep.
Oh, I thought Lewis was in Louisiana. That was somebody else was in Louisiana. I'm sorry, Lewis.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I think he's in Mark Best's region.
Okay. Where are you at out there, Lewis?
Yeah, 5th Brigade.
Okay. So we'll see about what happens in Ocala. It'll be put up to the GEC here the next couple of weeks, I hope, or week anyway.
Yep.
And
I don't understand what Ronnie's saying now. You have any clue?
You see what we're dealing with down here, Jason? Yeah, Ken, I understand the cost effective, but when we have it at Trenton, there's no camaraderie. Everybody's in and out.
Yep.
That's what I like more about it. I know we got to handle our business, but and try to keep costs down with everything we do, but we lose a lot of camaraderie because there's very few people that stand out there in the parking lot after Trenton. But if we have it at Trenton, that's fine. We do what we got to do, but it's good to see everybody at least once a year.
Yeah. Hang out, socialize. Because me and Jim Odell, we come from the South Florida. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that update. The 10 cabinets that were provided by the grant of the Order of the Confederate Cross was delivered today. We'll be taking them out of crates and getting them ready for artifacts. Wow, that's cool.
Well, fellas, I don't have nothing else to jaw jack about tonight.
Yep. And it's 9 o'clock. So, guys, I like seeing all you. I love seeing the comments and everything. And thank you for not beating up David too much. It was his first time.
I got big shoulders. I ain't worried about it.
They're getting used to you. Wait till the next time you come on.
Yeah, I'll make sure I get my hair dyed next time I come on, so it don't look so white. That's what being a commander in the SCV will do to you, to give you gray hair pretty quick.
Yep.
All right, fellas, appreciate your time, and I'll be back.
Guys, stay Southern, stay out of trouble. May God bless you in your adventures this week. Until next Tuesday, we have Annette Lindsay coming on. Stay Southern. Alrighty.
My dad told me he always had a kinship to the battle flag. Always growing up, he knew there was something there, but he couldn't put it together. I called my 97-year-old grandmother, and I asked her, do we have any soldiers in the family? I gave her 3 descriptions. Verde, which means green, for modern-day soldier. Blue, azul, or gris, means gray. And she said, mijo, which means my son in Spanish, is gris. It was gray. My great-great-grandfather was named Andres Torres Rodriguez. He was born in Mexico. He was a laborer. And he was in 8th Texas Infantry, and his unit later on got incorporated to the Texas 33rd Cavalry under Santos Benavides, who was the highest Mexican-American Confederate officer. He was a colonel. There was over 13,000 Hispanic soldiers throughout the Confederate States, but out of those 13,000 were 2,500 Tejanos. And it's 2 words combined. Texas in Spanish is Tejas. Mexican in Spanish, Mexicano. You combine both words, Tejano. They contributed a lot for Southern independence. I think that they deserve respect, honor, and dignity under the Confederate flag that they fought for. There was people of color, Mexican people, and other Hispanics, and other people of color that fought in this war. Everyone's reason was different, but primarily they fought in this war for their independence and to protect their homeland. I joined the SCV because I'm extremely proud of my Confederate heritage. I have Confederate DNA. I just want to ensure that the present generation and future generations know and never forget the contributions of Hispanics in the War of Northern Aggression. I am Richard Luna Garcia, the great-great-grandson of Private Andres Torres Rodriguez, a Tejano Confederate soldier.
Good night, everybody. May God bless you this week. Till next Tuesday, stay Southern.